Well, hey folks, figured maybe we'll try and get 2 videos in this week since I'm kind of behind and haven't been posting anything. Figured we'd talk a little bit about the Halloween race I went to at Galot. It was over Halloween. They do a special thing. They have a lot of stuff for kids. People dress up and they dock their trailers all out, and it's really a cool race. It pays 10 grand to win. They had a ton of cars. I mean, there were like 250 cars in top, probably something like 150 in foot brake. So there were over 400 cars on the property. They didn't expect near that kind of turnout. So they had to shorten. They only gave us one time run, no buybacks, no double entries. But anyway, I got there early and was still pitted on the return road before the ET booth. I mean, we're talking about half a mile from the freaking tower. But that's not part of the story. So I'd leaned the car out after Bristol, like my buddy had said, had gone racing the previous week to Farmington and had done decent. The car was more consistent. So I leaned it out even a little more, went to Bristol, or went to the Galot race. We got there and I had left the box alone and went up and went red, but the car ran a little slower than I thought, but I think that was just the air situation. So we went up, it went 6:28. I thought it would go at 25. I guess I was a little optimistic. But I went 11 red, so I went up for first round. I put 11 in the box to cover the red light, which probably wasn't the smart thing to do, but I won the round. I dialed it at 28, because that's what it had run. It went 30, but I dropped at the finish line and killed 1.5 miles an hour. So we went up for second round, and it was a little while later, and once we counted back, I realized I was paired up with there's a fella that runs local to us he always has different people drive his vehicles. He's got 2 vehicles, he's got a Camaro and he's got a truck. They're both good vehicles. No matter who drives them, they go rounds. If anybody's got any skill at all when they get in that vehicle, they're going to go rounds. They're both more than capable of winning races. I didn't know the fellow that was driving the truck this time, but like I said, I knew the vehicle, I knew it was capable, and I knew if he had any talent at all, that it was going to be a tough round because the truck was going to be there. So I was dialed 29, which I was fairly confident with. We did our burnout, rolled in and staged, the bulb come on, I let go of it, and it felt pretty good. The car left, it was green, which was a good sign, and it still felt good. We got down past half track, and I looked back, seen he was coming, and I looked again and seen he was coming, and I knew it was going to be close. I could tell that it was going to be really close. So I looked again when we hit the first cone, and it was going to be too close to call. So I run it down right until just merely feet before the last cone, and I dropped. And we went through, and he was right beside me when we went through, and I looked at the scoreboard, and it said 629 with a 2. I was dead 2. His wind light came on, and I didn't have a wind light, so I knew his wind light was on. Now, son of a bitch, I was late. All the way back to the trailer, I was late. It didn't feel late. I had to be late. I was dead 2, and I lost. It had to be late. I'm thinking it's 25, or it's 28, or it's 30, or something like that. And so I parked the car, got out, walked to the ticket booth, which was probably 150 yards away. I got my time slip. I looked at it. First thing I looked at was my light, 003. 003? Dead 2? Wait, that's a 5-pack. How the hell did I lose? I look over at his side, 002, dead 0. I thought, really? I'm 5 total. My man in the other lane's 2 total. What the hell? This is just. I thought, really? I'm 5 total. He's 2 total. 5 total. No good. Go home. Piss. Anyway, so I walk back to the trailer. I write all the information down. And like I said, I knew who it was, but I wasn't real sure where he was parked, and there were 400 cars there. So I went for a little walk trying to find him because I wanted to shake the man's hand, you know. He laid down a hell of a pass. So I walk around there and I finally find him, and he was like, "Oh man," he said, "that was a great race." He goes, "I could tell it was going to be close." He goes, "I got right up next to you," and he said, "You dropped right at the corner," and I thought, "Oh no." He said, and I looked up and my wind light come on, and I was like, "Yeah, man, I did everything right, and it wasn't good enough. That pass would have won 99 out of 100 times, and there was the one time it wasn't going to win." If you haven't been to the Galot race over Halloween, not like they need any more cars to go, because there was way too many cars there. But if you've never been there, it's worth going, because it pays 10 grand to win. But even not that. So they ran the first 2 rounds, or first three rounds. Then they stopped so the kids could trick or treat. I'm sure they would have liked to have paused longer, but there were so many cars, they couldn't afford to wait that long, because it's October, end of October, and it's going to get cold, and then they're going to lose the racetrack, and then they won't get the race in, and they didn't get it in anyway. But like I said, people had their trailers all decked out, and people were all dressed up, and people had black lights hanging in their trailers, and they were all dressed up in costumes when the kids were trick-or-treating, and it was really cool. I mean, that I hung around and waited for that part. And so I'm walking up to the staging lanes, because a buddy of mine that I work with was still there, and he was still in, and he was going to run. So I'm walking up there, and there's a fella standing like right at the edge of the pit road heading to the staging lanes, and he's got dark blue coveralls on and a Michael Myers mask, and he's just standing there. He's not moving. He's just looking slowly side to side, occasionally tilting his head. It was just cool as hell. But anyway, so that's as quick as I can make one. Maybe we'll have some more content later. I'll attach a little bit of pictures from that race. I'll attach the time slip. I'm on the right-hand side of the time slip. Like I said, I'm 5 total. Man's 2 total. 5 total, no good. Isn't this racing shit awesome? I got a shirt that says that from a buddy of mine. I'll show you. Anyway, like, subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.